What's up? We've got the Noble Cup Series. Gen 4 Cups. We're at Martinsville. I've been gone for the last couple weeks, so we've got a few more different guys in here that jumped in the league, which is cool. But by the grace of God, we are actually on the pole for now. Still got a bunch of guys that haven't qualified, though. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm going to be playing with it the whole race. Phrasing. Get some broadcast up here. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I practiced green flag stops a couple times and I was kind of laughing at myself. But even going to get to do this? Even one time? Just in case, you know, to kind of maybe catch a quick spin or something. But, man. Oh, did you? Right. Man, that's the big thing about this in these cars right now is to downshift or to not downshift. I can't get used to it. I don't know. Maybe long in a run, mid-corner, bump it down and kick the ass end, maybe help your middle turn, but it's probably going to be faster. I mean, if the IROC guys are doing it, it's going to be faster. So, but I think it might be more of survival. I feel like it's been forever since I streamed. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Across the line. Hey, he's playing my advertisement. No shit. Cool.
And it looks like Millet might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315. Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt screwed the trial for the final time. And oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through. And I think Short...
Well, I suppose. Yep, say a prayer. Get ready for the show. It's so easy to turn, people. So damn easy. There we go. That's that Asian driver meme. I'm gonna change lanes now across 4 lanes. Good luck, everyone else.
Back at Martinsville Speedway, getting ready. Start pace laps here for race number 5, but before we do that, let's get into our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 19.443 seconds, it's the 315 of Zach Millet, making it 3 for 3, 3 starts and 3 poles
be the guy to
for
beat,
that S4 guy. Kevin McCann missed it by 21 thousandths. He'll start in the outside front row. Drew Blaze in the 3rd spot. 4th goes to Brandon Mefford. 5th place starter in the 3 is going to be Brian McCann. Starting 6th is the 41 of Chris Goins. Starting 7th, the 33 of Will Hewitt. Vincent Short will start from the 8th spot. Matt Sisler rolling off from P9. Mike Tucker starts 10th. 11th starter was the 2 of Neil Quick. Alan DeFries in the number 71. He'll roll off from the 12th starting position.
I think the green comes
Starting
out pretty early
13th,
in
it's
that
the 21
restart
of
zone, if I
Jesse
remember
Redding.
right.
Drew Prowl will start 14th.
It's on flag
Joe
initial,
Tucker
right?
15th. 16th starter is Ken Couch. Chris Elliott rolling from the 17th spot. Shane Haas 18th. 19th starter, it's the 26th of Keaton Burnett. Eddie Rose will start from the 20th position. Cody Williams 21st. Chris Mefford starting 22nd. Doug Wysocki 23rd. 24th goes to Mark Truxell. And last but not least, shotgun on the field, it's the 22 of Matt Kopp starting 25th. It's your starting grid from Martinsville Speedway Field, already beginning to roll on one of two pace laps. Should see the green flag here or get the one to go signal this time by. Want to make a special note about R&R Racewear jumping on board mid-season. They're going to be the official plaque sponsor of the Noble Racing Series, so appreciate the guys and Neil Quick for jumping on board for doing that. Pace truck hits pit lane.
Green flag.
Flag is in the air. The field's clean through turns 1 and 2. Zach Millett leads him down into 3 over Kevin McCann. Drew Blaze up into the 3rd spot for now, just a foot or two ahead of the 83 of Mefford. Giving chase is the 42 of Kevin McCann. A couple of car lengths between himself and the 315. Just about 4/10 the advantage for Millett for now, but McCann closes the gap considerably into turns 1 and 2. Mid-pack battle here, Ken Couch, and we got a caution. Jesse Redding is around here on the front straightaway.
You're doing a good job. You want to give us an update on that card?
A little bit of left front damage on the 21. He gets her facing the right direction. We'll go back and see what happened here with the 21.
Getting that pole is that pit box. Might pay off.
So this is getting into turn 3. He's in behind Vincent Short and Neil Quick. Jesse doesn't get a great entry. He's up about a lane and a half. Tries to put the power down on exit. No help. Just too much power on those rear tires, and it's not that late in this race. Just gives you an idea of how much juice these engines put out towards those rear tires. Jesse Redding, around he goes. First caution of the night. Jesse's going to be in here trying to get some repairs made. Smoke pouring from that machine here. That impact a little bit harder than it appeared. Certainly some mechanical damage to the 21. See if you can get that fixed and get back out here. No fast repair in this series. Got to keep that in mind. So Jesse may be there for a little bit of a wait before he can get that car fixed. So first caution of the day. Didn't take long. Ironically, a one-car incident.
Restarts are hairy. I think it's on the leader now as long as I'm in the zone. Go for it anyway.
Sounds like some of these drivers are saving fuel already at this point. He's right on board here with Zach Millett. Yeah, he's got the clutch in. He's just coasting. Already trying to save some fuel, make this thing go as long as he can before having to hit pit lane. Or at worst case scenario, just trying to make it a shorter pit stop. next time in. So there you see it, pace truck lights go out, so we're on the 1 to go. We're going to try this again here. Get everybody re-racked here, side by side. It's going to be Millett, Kevin McCann, Drew Blaze, Brian McCann, Chris Goins, your top 5. Then it's Will Hewitt, Brandon Mefford, Matt Sisler, Vincent Short, and Neil Quick. Rounding out the top 10. So we're just about a half lap away from going back to the green flag as the pace truck hits pit lane.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Millett with a good jump. 3/10 down into turn number 1 over Kevin McCann. Kevin McCann under pressure from Drew Blaze already. Blaze, the number 1, gets to the inside. Able to get the power down as well. Stays alongside Kevin McCann into turn number 3.
And that reset, it's pretty sketchy.
Blaze gets clear in the 42. Move Blaze up into the 2nd spot.
Caution.
And we have another yellow.
What have you got?
Alan DeFries and others involved in this. Bit of a stack up. 2nd caution already here, 10 laps in. I have heard that there's a what we like to call a mercy rule. Like if you're beating your opponent by 10 runs or more, they call the game.
Thinking just for that pit stop.
I think tonight it's if we get 10 cautions or more, they just stop the race. I'm kidding, but sometimes on these little short tracks, you kind of wish they would do that because they can certainly be wreck fests. This Gen 4 Cup car, with the amount of power that it puts down to the rear wheels, that's certainly a possibility to see that many cautions. But let's go back, try and get a look, see exactly what happened here. Put this under our 2nd caution of the day. We saw Alan DeFries was certainly involved in it to a point. Does he just get power down too soon? Well, so far so good. This is back start finish. Looks like Joe Tucker just runs in the back of the 71 here on the entrance to turn number 1. Catches out Ken Couch, Michael Tucker, Drew Prail. Looks like Chris Elliott gets a piece of this as well. Matt Kopp. A lot of drivers just trying to squeak through. About 10 laps in, 2nd caution of the day. Zach Millett still the race leader, but Drew Blaze has closed up to the 2nd spot. Ahead of Kevin and Brian McCann, and 5th is Chris Goins. Should see the 1 to go signal this time. And there you have it. Lights are off on the pace truck. So next time by, back green flag racing once again. Lap 16 when we go back to the green. Ready to go back, green flag racing. The green is in the air. Zach Millet with another good jump. Carry a quarter of a second advantage down into turn 1 over Drew Blaze. Continue to watch here the second position. Drew Blaze just gets a tiny piece of the outside wall on corner exit. Doesn't really slow his momentum all that much. He's got two brothers McCann in behind him. Kevin in third, Brian in fourth. While Millet stretching it out now, half-second advantage back to the rest of the field. Couch trying to find a way around the 29 of Chris Elliott. Chris Goins knocking on the door. Kevin McCann really knocking on the door of Drew Blaze. Looking to the outside here for the second spot. Might have the pass completed. No, Drew Blaze battling back on the bottom. Doesn't have that pass completed yet, but he's making that second lane work quite well. Still side by side for the second position. Millet's got to be loving this. Starting to stretch his lead out. Finally, either Kevin abandons the pursuit of that second position or Drew Blaze finally gets clear again. I think it was more of the previous there, as Kevin may have just checked up enough to let the one get back in front of him, realize they were losing ground to the leader. Better to run single file and still maintain pace with the top spot versus run side by side for a position that you're going to be all by yourself trying to reel in the leader after the fact, depending on how long it takes to get that pass completed. Meanwhile, Millet still stretching out his advantage over the rest of the field. It's now 1.3 seconds, even with these two lined out individually one by one. Single file. Again, our stage break coming at the completion of lap 55. We're getting close, but still a ways away.
Horrible turn.
Alan DeFries to the inside on Joe Tucker. Keep an eye on that. Remember, those two, the ones that made contact just recently here, puts us under the caution. DeFries was on the brakes a little sooner than Joe had anticipated. Gets into the right rear of the 71, sends him around. That's what triggered our multi-vehicle incident back on about lap 10.
Hit the groove and then caution comes out.
DeFries running 23rd now, not on the lead lap. 3 laps down to be specific. Just behind
Honestly,
Mark Truxell. Truxell running 12th on the lead lap.
That's everything. It's good points. And I'm not making a full season or even close to it, so I need to get every bonus point I can get.
Caution's out.
And another caution. Looks like Drew Prowl might be involved in this one. Matt Kopp as well. Kopp facing the wrong direction on a turn 4. So our third yellow of the evening. DeFries almost coming in here at speed and clipping the 22. Gets by without incident. Let's go back and get a look at it. See what happened here with the 22 and the 80. Oh, Chris Elliott comes in too. Really drives into the back of the 80 of Drew Prowl. Let's back this up a little further here, unpack what really happened.
Pretty good battle behind me for a couple laps, which definitely helped.
Matt Kopp in the 22, Drew Prowl in the 80. just throttles up. Likely a tick sooner than the 22 does, and sends Matt Kopp around. Let's go back even further here. I want to get a better look at this from the perspective with Chris Elliott. So again, going down into, I think this was turn 3. Matt Kopp in the 22, Drew Browl in the 80. Yeah, I think Drew was just expecting the 22 to get in the gas a little sooner, but after the fact, Chris Elliott just doesn't see what's happening, I'm guessing here, and drives right in the back of Drew Browl. And we got a 3-car incident out of this. A couple drivers hitting pit lane here, again, maybe just for fuel if you're far enough in the back and it doesn't hurt you to do so. Get yourself on a different strategy or save some time in that pit stop that's likely to come after the stage break.
Lots of guys pit road there. Damage related or just a little strategy. I think once we get to this stage, it's going to be chaotic. I think a lot of people pre-pit the stage and then have guys with fresh tires behind them. Might be a nightmare.
So Michael Tucker is going to come down pit lane again here. So we get the 1 to go signal here. So racing once again the next time by. Lap 34. Still a ways shy of the stage break. So we've got another planned caution coming at the end of lap 55.
Had a bit of a moment there. I come into the green flag, my headset turns off. So that was great.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Zach Millett with a decent jump over Drew Blaze and Kevin McCann down into turn number 1. 3.5 tenths the advantage for the 315. McCann takes over that second spot, gets clear of Drew Blaze off the back straightaway.
Anything, really.
In that caution,
like to shut
racing the
themselves
sizable
off at
lead
random
that Zach
times,
Millett
usually
had prior to it was
in the
over 1.3 seconds, and we got another caution. Big mess here in turn, middle of turns 3 and 4. Neil Quick, Matt Kopp, Joe Tucker, Doug Wysocki, Alan DeFries, all involved.
Oh, did you get in it?
Possibly some more. Keaton Burnett, Ken Couch.
But yeah, you play
Chris
the music
Elliott,
in the
we already
background.
mentioned him, Chris
So you
Jones.
can't hear it like 1 or 2 clicks up, and it's supposed to keep it.
Well, let's get a look at it. See what happened. Caution number 4.
iRacing is using it. OBS is using it.
Ooh, Vincent Short into the back of Neil Quick is what
But
triggers
Spotify
this
and
one.
Pandora, for some reason, they keep it
Go
going.
back a little further, see if we can get a better idea as to truly how this one happened. And on the restart, we're all bunched up.
I really want the stage win. That's pretty much my whole race with these bonus points and not making the whole season, you know?
Yeah, Vince just drives right underneath the back bumper of the 2 of Neil Quick. Both drivers going around.
These restarts up here are sketchy, trying to put that power down.
By on
Holy
the
shit.
outside, the 23. Shane Haas gets in it. Might have gotten by, not sure. Joe Tucker gets it front to back. Doug Wysocki driving up and underneath the 13. Matt Kopp might have got through
I've
here.
been in
just had to
second,
stop.
but it's real light. And shift to third is pretty much the whole damn thing. If that's bad, then you're dead.
So, some more trouble here at Martinsville Speedway in the middle of 3 and 4. We wad them up again. Cautions, breeding cautions, as we so often say. It's going to be a long night, folks. 37 laps in, 4 cautions to this point.
So we can get another good start.
We've got
and make
another
it to
one
the stage
planned
here.
at lap 55. That would be for the stage. With that, we're going to step aside here, get a break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Harder to get these restarts. You see anything on that one, Vince?
Back at Martinsville Speedway, green flag back in the air. Millett with another good jump. 3/10 the advantage over Kevin McCann, but Drew Blaze is going to be to the inside of the 42 in turns 1 and 2, and the caution is out again.
You want something to drink? Yes, they'll take a Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
Fifth caution of the night, 40 laps in.
Start getting creative with these restarts. I want to do the same thing.
See if we can figure this one out. Brandon Mefford was involved. Again, coming to green here. This triggered right away.
Let's see what happened here.
Mefford gets off to a good start. Matt Sisler to his outside. Sisler did not get a great start. Shane Haas thought about going to the inside, but hesitated a bit, then tucked back in behind the 93, gets into Sisler, which then sends him into the 83. And then everything else is chain reaction. Ken Couch getting into Brandon Mefford and everybody else having to check up to avoid. Watch it from Sisler's in-car. We'll slow it way down here. Let's watch it from the rear. Shane Haas just gets a little piece of Sisler, which speeds him up and sends him into the 83. So Mefford's going to hit pit lane here, trying to get some damage repaired. Again, no fast repair in this series, so he's going to have to fix it the old-fashioned way. Hopefully there's not too much required. He can get back out there without losing a lap. Hard to do at a place like Martinsville. Again, a half mile. Even under caution, they're getting around here pretty quick. Get back to start and finish here all the way in turn number 1 here. Looks like Mefford's certainly going to lose a lap. Unless he got down. No, he left pit lane, so I think he's in okay shape.
Another one.
Or is he? Chris Mefford with some left front damage as well. Brandon Mefford did get back out there. I'm not sure if he lost laps or not. We'll find out here when everything cycles back through the timing tower. Looks like Brandon Mefford did stay in a lead lap here. Coming back out 19th. Track Bar Media in the stream chat says these guys are better than this. Pace Truck's going to need to change tires. Track Bar Media making a very good point. Yes, the drivers are certainly much better than this. but it just goes to show the difficulty of this track and car combination. Martinsville's tough to begin with, but you match it up with the Gen 4 Cup car, it's even more difficult. And again, the reason for that is just they have so much power. It's hard to be gentle on that throttle. You're trying to race. Obviously, everyone's natural inclination is to hammer the throttle and go, but you just can't do that with these cars. Base truck is down. Wait for Barney to wave it. We're back racing once again here. Wrap up caution 5 from Martinsville. Millett still with the lead over Kevin McCann, but Kevin, now that he's free of the rest of the race traffic, starting to close the gap on the 315. It's just a few feet off the back bumper as Kevin McCann maintains the second spot. Brian McCann up into P3. Drew Blaze slips back to fourth. Will Hewitt now up into the fifth spot. Continue to watch the battle for the race lead. A car length now between Millett and Kevin McCann. Kevin driving it deep into the corner, certainly gaining ground on entry where Millett gains it on exit. 1/3 distance here at Martinsville Speedway as we're just a few laps shy of our stage break, which again will be another caution. Brian McCann driving it way deep into turns 3 and 4. Closes a ton of ground on his brother Kevin. Lap 52 up on the board. Millett over Kevin and Brian McCann. Blaze running fourth. Will Hewitt fifth. Chris Goins, Matt Sisler, Vincent Short, Shane Haas, Neil Quick, the top 10. Under a blanket here off turn number 4. Millett with the race lead over Kevin and Brian McCann. Just about to lap 55, which at the end of 55 we'll see the green and white checkered flag that designate the end of the first stage. There it is, lap 55 up on the board. We're still watching this battle here for the second spot between the brothers McCann. Field down the backstretch here into 3 and 4. Final time on the stage, off of turn number 4. Zach Millett wins stage number 1.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
Yeah, it's been saving that pretty good.
Caution on the speedway. Zach Millett completes the stage win. Kevin McCann second, Brian McCann third, Drew Blaze fourth, Will Hewitt fifth. Then it's Chris Goins, Matt Sisler, Vincent Short, Shane Haas, and Neil Quick rounding out the top 10. Stage number 1.
Right front, 97 right rear. Thanks on that race to the set.
Just about everybody going to hit pit road here. Zach Millett leading them down. Again, with 2 sets of tires, will we see guys
right
take
front,
them?
171.
Again, we're already a third of the way in. 3 sets overall to use. 2 sets over the wall. 1 set on the truck, so there's your 3.
10 or so.
See if anybody gambles. I can't imagine it's going to be a great plan to do so. Granted, they haven't burned up a lot of tire here with all the cautions we've had in this first stage. It's going to be right sides for Millett, though. Let's see. Kevin McCann, he's going to take rights. Brian McCann.
Like everybody else took tires, so we're not.
He's already got rights taken care of. He's working on the lefts. Millett drops the jack and heads out of pit lane. He's going to maintain the lead, but some drivers staying out of the racetrack. Neil Quick being one of them. A lot of drivers, not a lot, but a few drivers taking an opportunity during one of the cautions to make pit stops. Again, Neil Quick hasn't made any. He just stayed out for the sake of it, trying to get off schedule here with everybody else. Brandon and Chris Mefford, they're on a different strategy here. They pitted lap 42 and 43 respectively, which with all these cautions, they're not going to be all that different comparative to those that pit this time by. Granted, they're not going to fire off quite as quickly as those on sticker tires. They might be okay here. This could work out.
Well, first time in traffic.
So working our sixth caution of the night. This one is for the stage, so no issues with this one. Hopefully we can get restarted here momentarily, get things back underway without any incidents. These guys stretched out just a bit on the racetrack, so they're not bunched up super close. So let's see how this pans out here with Neil Quick out in front on the original set of tires that he started the race on. Brandon and Chris Mefford out there on slightly older tires compared to the rest of the field, but we're talking minimal. And with this Gen 4 Cup car, you gotta be real careful they don't spin the tires. In the Geico restart zone. Momentarily.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Neil Quick still in the race lead, holding these guys off quite nicely as Brandon Mefford jumps up into that second spot, but Zach Millett with fresh tires, he's going to roll on up through into the third position. Brandon Mefford maintaining the second spot. Millett taking a look, and the caution is out once again. Ken Couch in trouble.
Very difficult official this week. Make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
Chris Elliott gets hung up in behind. Don't know if there was contact with the 29 or the 08. Caution number 7.
When Brian restarted there.
Looks like Ken just drives in the back of Matt Sisler, sends him up the racetrack. Sisler continues on. Couch doesn't really hit anything, but certainly lose a bunch of track position. Chris Elliott, I want to go back and look at this and see why he was so far out of the groove in 3 and 4. I can't imagine it was to avoid the wreck, because, well, that's where Ken was. Back it up here a little bit further. And let's see if we can find Chris Elliott here.
Lap 80 is the lap. I think we can make it to the end, Vince.
Elliott starting his turn into turn 3.
Definitely helps.
15 is Shorts on the bottom. Short drove it in pretty deep, but wasn't anywhere near the 29, and I don't know if Elliott just panicked and thought, I better go high here, but Couch was already up in that outer groove, so I mean, Chris didn't hit anything, of course, in this instance, but had to come to a complete stop to get around the 08. So on this caution, looks like Neil Quick did finally hit pit lane.
Restart too bad. I think Brian will get under me in seconds.
For fuel only, it looks like.
Surrounded by.
Could have been right side tires, but 8.6 seconds. Certainly not 4.
Should be able to hook up a little bit.
Quick though, he's going to restart here in the 14th position. Brandon Mefford now your new leader. Now remember, Mefford's pit stop was in lap 42. It was 4 tires, fuel, and some damage repair, or it could have been just fuel and damage. It doesn't give me an indication as to what actually happened, and well, frankly, I don't have a pit reporter either. Truck lights still ablaze. Hopefully they'll extinguish this time by. Should get the restart at lap 68. At least that's what we're going with. Right on board here with Chris Mefford.
He bonsais that baby down to the bottom.
And there it is. Pace truck lights extinguished. Green flag racing at lap 69. It's a great lap. We're going to ride on board here with Brandon Mefford from the driver's eye cam. Special thanks to Whiplash Sim Cams. Whiplash Media might have a different name these days, but the same people doing the same work. Appreciate their efforts here as Pace Truck pulls down pit lane here. So getting ready for another restart, 7th restart of the evening. Brandon Mefford from the race lead. Let's watch how he does it.
Green flag.
And easy on the throttle, coming up to speed, and a little bit of a short shift too to help from spinning the tires. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the second spot. Brian McCann to the inside of Zach Millett. Millett way up the racetrack, out of the groove almost. Now he's got pressure from Kevin McCann. Brian McCann taking a peek to the inside on Mefford here for the race lead. Millett getting freight trained by the IROC crew. I say IROC crew. All 3 of these guys are from the IROC series. That would be Mefford, McCann, and McCann. Kevin hasn't, I don't think, run more than a race or 2 this season over IROC, but they do run the same Gen 4 Cup car, so there's certainly a bit of a competitive advantage there in having some seat time in this car. We've seen it week in and week out as Brian McCann goes to the inside, trying to take the race lead away from Brandon Mefford. He's got him, but not quite clear. Now he's clear. Down the back straightaway, the 3. New leader to the front of the field, Brian McCann. Millett has slipped back a bit. Meanwhile, Brian McCann has just recently put up the fastest lap of the race in 19.59. Not quite qualifying pace, but close. Brandon Mefford way up the racetrack. He's out of the groove for sure in the loose stuff. He's going to lose a spot, maybe 2. Shane Haas now has got a fender to the inside. So now it's McCann and McCann in front of the field, your injury attorneys. Not really. Brian McCann starting to stretch it out a bit, 6/10 of a second advantage over Kevin McCann, just about halfway. In fact, we are just past halfway as Brian McCann crosses the stripe for lap 76. Millett now in 3rd. Shane Haas has completed the pass on Brandon Mefford. He's up 14 spots, a strong run so far for the 23. Brandon Mefford trying to attack, take this position back away from the 23, and he's got him clear. Textbook pass by Brandon Mefford. So with that, we're going to jump out here, get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Caution. Talk to you about your car real quick.
It's exposed. Good. I've lost a race because of that. I know, I've lost a race because of that. I've learned in life. I wish DW was watching that. Say, what's up? Well, let's see if we can survive till the end, Vince. Yeah, he'll find a way to kill us all here, I'm sure.
Back at Martinsville Speedway, you saw it in the break during the side-by-side under the caution. I think it's for the 8th time tonight. That is correct. That was for Joe Tucker. We saw it unfold. Tucker caught a little bit of the inside curb with the left side of his race car, and it certainly upset it. Turned him around sideways in front of the field. He tried to correct it, overcorrected in the path of Michael Tucker, and then, well, in trying to get it back down to the inside, he drove it into the path of the 21 of Jesse Redding, and he was collected as well. Sometimes it's better just to stand on the brakes and let her stop. It's very hard to turn off that mindset of, I gotta save it, I gotta save it. Half the time it's not really a thought, it's just an action. Sometimes it is better certainly to hold the brake instead.
Yeah, he found a way.
Pace truck pulls down into pit lane. Set for another restart here for Martinsville. Brian McCann's gonna lead his brother Kevin McCann to the point. Zach Millett and some others made a pit stop. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Par for the course.
Being back in the air, Brian McCann up to speed.
Just don't surprise you.
Brian McCann out to a half-second advantage over Kevin McCann. At the time being, Shane Haas up into P3. One car up in the wall. I think it might have been Will Hewitt. Continues on. We stay green. Wanted to talk about Zach Millett. Did make a pit stop during that caution. We've got some spinners. We got another wreck. Big time impact for Ken Couch. Zach Millett involved. Jesse Redding. Michael Tucker. Multiple drivers involved in this one. Looks like Brandon Mefford, Vince Short, Ken Couch, Mike Tucker, Drew Prowl, Neil Quick, Doug Wysocki, Matt Kopp, Chris Elliott. More carnage here at Martinsville Speedway. We were just talking about Millett taking those tires, and I was going to make mention is it put him back in the mid-pack, which opens you up to the opportunity to be involved in somebody else's problem, and it certainly seems that could be the case. Let's go back and get a look at it. See, no Quick's going to hit pit lane here. Millett has slipped back to the 18th spot. The other part was I wanted to mention is Millett and others took tires on that pit stop.
Picture on that, I can see
their final set
I don't think I do.
here with 60 plus laps remaining. Let's get a look, see here how this went down. And it looks like another chain reaction incident here. Let's back it up a little further. So you see Millett in 315 closing in on Alan DeFries. Smoke coming off DeFries' car. Millett checks up to avoid
That's about
contact.
what it felt like. Exactly what it looked like.
46 of Chris Mefford runs into the back of the 315. Chris gets a piece of the inside wall, a little bit of the right rear on Millett. Ken Couch just gets run up underneath by Vincent Short. Big time impact for the 08. And Neil Quick's going to get into the left rear of Jesse Redding. Just trying to get through this incident. Take a look at the Zach Millett machine. Looks relatively undamaged. In fact, I don't see a crinkled fender, quarter panel, or side panel. Nothing on that machine. It looks okay. Hopefully Zach's aware of that. I think he is, as Neil Quick took the time to come to pit road right away as Millett stayed out.
Whereabouts are you, Vince?
Well, caution number 9 on the speedway here at Martinsville. 92 laps in.
Yeah, same.
Pace lights still ablaze.
Should've lit it up a little bit
on
too
the
much.
iRacing pace truck. Re-rack them and try it again. That's all we can do. We are on the one to go here. So lap 94, we'll go back to the green flag. Top 10, Brian McCann, Kevin McCann, Shane Haas, Chris Goins, Matt Sisler, the top 5. Keaton Burnett, Will Hewitt, Alan DeFries, Mark Truxell, Chris Mefford. Turn number 4, once again, Barney with the green in hand, into the Geico restart zone. We're back racing in Martinsville.
I don't like that shifting stuff.
Brian McCann gets away from the brother. Kevin McCann, 0.4 of a second and growing. Then it's Shane Haas, Chris Goins, Matt Sisler. Sisler with a new paint scheme this week, the number 93, sporting the UNOH colors. Alan DeFries just ahead of Will Hewitt for the 6th position. That's a battle that we continue to watch. And then just behind that, Chris Mefford and Keaton Burnett side by side. This will be for the 8th spot. Keaton Burnett falling backwards. Mark Truxell taking a peek to the inside. Keaton drops it back down to the low lane. Vincent Short running in the 11th spot with some left front damage. Doesn't appear to be hurting that car too much. If anything, it actually might be keeping the left front tire a little bit cooler as it is exposed. Oh, but he slides into the corner up the racetrack into the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Put Mefford 3 wide with Ken Couch and Neil Quick for a brief moment. Now Quick to the inside of Vincent Short. Not going to do him any favors here after that early contact. Zach Millett to the inside on Mark Truxell. This for the 9th position. Millett continuing to work back towards the front. Again, on fresher tires, he's still going to have to take care of them to a certain extent. No extra sets over the pit wall. Meanwhile, watch the fight here. Neil Quick and Mark Truxell, they figure that out very quickly. Now a little bit of door-to-door action with Brandon Mefford and Mark Truxell again. Truxell's kind of hung out in the outside lane. Mefford's going to take the spot, move the 83 up into the 11th position. Vincent Short, Keaton Burnett, now they're fighting it out for that spot. Slow car down low. It's Joe Tucker, sends them 3 wide for a moment. Keaton Burnett up the racetrack. That's one way to take the spot. Joe Tucker still on the bottom of the racetrack, not quite at pace. Brandon Mefford now battling the 71 to DeFries. He gets that spot. Millen now quickly into the top 10, running in the 8th position. Stream chat's been awful quiet. I know it's been a bit of a caution fest here tonight, but help us out, guys. Who you cheering for? Where are you watching from? Is this your first HBR TV race? I hope not. I want you to come back.
Interesting.
It's one of our longer stretches of green flag runs. I think these guys have finally got it figured out. Again, as we said early in the broadcast, it's a very difficult track and car combination. We've seen these races run quite well with other cars like the Truck Series or even the Xfinity cars, but this Gen 4 Cup car, it's its own beast, its own animal. It's hard enough on a mile and a half. You put them on a small little half-mile flat short track like Martinsville Speedway, well, you're going to get pretty much what we've seen here tonight in most cases. It's not always that way, but all these drivers out here, they're all pretty good. They're all really aggressive. I think that's part of the problem. A little too much aggression as Zach Millett gets into the wall there on the straightaway. Keeps his foot in it. Now he's to the outside of Neil Quick, but Quick makes the move, takes the position away. And caution on the speedway. Ken Couch in trouble once again. What can we do to
try to help it if we do get another restart?
It's been a rough night for the 08 to Ken Couch. I'm sure he hasn't been, but I want to say he's been in almost every one of these cautions here tonight. Tough break for the 08. Certainly some damage on that machine.
Oh, man.
Doesn't appear to be tracking straight either. Starting to look like the old Twisted Sister. Dog tracking it. Got the crab walk going down the straightaway. Yeah, it's yawed out a bit. But some of that's also the design of the race car. Or yawed out, you can get the right rear into the wind while you're going down the straightaway into the corners. That just generates more side force once you're in the corner. Helps keep it from spinning out. Couch is going to hit pit lane here to get some repairs affected. Other drivers as well. Kevin McCann, he's in the pits. So is Chris Goins, Will Hewitt, Matt Sisler, Alan DeFries. A lot of drivers coming down this time were those that made the pit stops around lap 57. Brian McCann, Zach Millett. those guys taking their tires a little bit off cycle. We'll see if this pays off, because now these guys are taking their final set. Yes, they'll have fresher rubber underneath them, but they lose that track position. A place like Martinsville, and with the cautions that we've had here tonight, track position is going to be very important. It's not to say that they're not talented enough to make their way through. They definitely get it done, especially guys like Kevin McCann and others.
Huh.
So with that, we're going to step aside here, get another break out of the way. We'll be right back after this. And it looks like Millett might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon.
I don't know if that's code for something or not. Can't be anything good.
That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315.
All right. Oh man, these things are slippery.
Checkered flag. Contact, and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short.
Ooh, Santa. That was a beautiful turn by Neil. Holy shit.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
We wouldn't do that to you. We're going back green flag racing. You're not going to watch commercials during that. Field off to turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. We're racing for Martinsville. Leads him back to the stripe over Neil Quick, Zach Millett, Brandon Mefford, and Chris Elliott. Battle now for the 5th spot. Chris Mefford takes it away from Chris Elliott. Moved to 46 up into the top 5. Will Hewitt's going to follow him on through, and he's going to run the 29 up the racetrack. But he drove it in a little too deep, tries to pull it down in front of Shane Haas. Not enough room to do it, but Chris Goins goes by both of them. Move Goins up into the 6th spot. Elliott might have a right front down the way he's driving that thing. He just does not want to turn.
He's got a reason to make more, that's all.
Kevin McCann might have got the wall as well. Stay under the green flag. Elliott's got a problem with the right front. I don't know if it's the tire or if it's the body work. Is Kevin McCann slow? Exit at turn 4. Caution on the speedway.
What can we do to try to help it if we do get another restart?
11th caution of the evening. I don't know if it was for Alan DeFries or Kevin McCann. We'll look at DeFries first. Alan DeFries in a white number 71, the Monster Energy entry in behind Mark Truxell. This is down into turn number 3. Now, he might have been checking up for the slow-moving Kevin McCann machine. That's very well possible. Ooh, we had a bigger issue than we thought.
Yeah, it's a
So
shit
we'll
show.
back it up here. We'll watch the Kevin McCann problem
It's a
here.
shit
This is
show.
again out of turn
As
4.
expected.
I think this is what precipitated everything. Drivers were starting to check up, maybe expecting the
cars on the
caution.
lead lap, though.
Ooh, it looks like Vincent Short might have got to the
I mean,
back
get
of
a
the
late
42
set
to
might not
send
be
him
an option.
around. this from Vincent's onboard. Nice and slow. Again, down turn 3 and 4 here. Was middle of 4, just past the apex of 3 and 4. Yeah, Vince just gets to the right rear and makes contact. You cannot push these cars off center. It's got to be square. If you hit them square, they'll usually push up the racetrack and you can take advantage and get to the bottom. But you hit them in the right rear, they're going to go around. So we'll watch the Alan DeVries incident here again in real time.
Kevin's yelling at you.
Knowing Kevin McCann's loose up front. Yeah, see, it looks like Mark Truxell saw a lot of tire smoke. We'll back it up here. I want to look at it from Truxell's point of view. It looks like the 5 saw the tire smoke, might have gotten on the brakes thinking there was a car sideways in front of him. So again, this is exit. He sees the 42 into the wall. Truxell just turned left, kept turning left. He got a little bit closer down on exit of that corner than he really needed to, but it checked up everybody in behind him. Tell you, things happen in a hurry here at Martinsville Speedway. It's not a super fast racetrack, and being a flat half-mile short track, but you still don't have a whole lot of time to think about things. You're right on top of the next guy. Check up the brakes, you're going to stack up the whole field. Sometimes you just can't avoid it. Again, Mark Truxell, trying to be smart, didn't want to run into a wrecked race car without hitting the brakes. Fortunately for everybody behind him, they didn't catch that. They didn't get that message. Truck in pit lane.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Zach Millett tried to time it, almost ran into the back of the 3. 27 laps to go. To the inside of Brandon Mefford, and the caution is out once again. And Vincent Short and Kevin McCann coming together. Don't know if there was some payback involved there. Oh boy, oh boy. I think this is Kevin's first race of the season here in the Noble Racing Series. Let's get a look at it, shall we? Vincent Short in the low lane. You see Kevin McCann, the blue and yellow 42. He's now behind and just drives right through Vincent Short. Unfortunately for these other guys, it collects Keaton Burnett and Mark Truxell in this incident. 2 guys that had nothing to do with the prior incident. And I'm all for paying a guy back, but if you're going to do it, you got to do it in a way you don't take out other guys. Well, the admins will be busy tonight, that's for sure. Holler Boys Racing in the stream chat says, well, well, since you're watching, Holler Boys, let's get your take on it. I mean, you saw the first caution, and while you've seen what looks like payback to me, dump a guy in the straightaway, that's usually intentional. And again, for a guy like Kevin McCann, he's too good for that to be an accident. It's sometimes the downfall to being really good at driving is that it's very obvious when it's intentional. When you're not very good, you can say, I messed up, sorry. And everybody's like, yeah, that sounds about right. But when you're quick, and I don't mean Neil quick, but when you're quick, consistently quick, that kind of stuff usually don't happen. Of course, I'm just a broadcaster. I could be wrong. I'm only fast if I got to take right turns. Once again, I want to thank R&R Racewear for jumping on board in the No Bull Racing Series, for being effectively the official sponsor of our top 5 trophies this season, or plaques for that matter. No Bull Racing Series typically providing trophies and or plaques to the top 5 finishers in the point standings at the end of the season. Real quick letting the series know today, R&R Racewear is going to pick up the tab. Holler Boy says, we love Vince, but the bill's been due from an IROC guy for a while. Now, to expand upon that, Vince was or is an IROC guy at one point as well. He ran there for quite some time. His truck pulls down into pit lane. We're going to get a restart here. I'm sure the admins will figure this one out after the fact, but it is what it is. Brian McCann going to lead him back to the green flag here from the race lead. Neil Quick to his outside. Zach Millett, Chris Mefford, Brandon Mefford, the top 5. We're back racing from Martinsville. 20 laps to go.
We got flashbacks of Charlotte.
Clean air is king, even on the short track. Brian McCann enjoying being the leader of this pack. Off turn number 4, 18 laps to go. Over Neil Quick, it's 4.5 tenths. Then Zach Millett in the 3rd position. Chris Mefford knocking on the door. It's interesting, the race leader is Brian McCann. His pit stop, last pit stop for tires coming at lap 57. Neil Quick's last stop, lap 89. Millett with older tires, though, making a look to the inside on Neil Quick. Doesn't get the job done, but on the attack certainly seems to have some pace. Millett taking a look to the inside into 1 here. Quick shuts the door.
Sweet thing, wasn't it?
Millett's got to be careful here, too, because if he's not, Chris Mefford is going to take advantage in a hurry. He is fast as well. Laps to go for Martinsville Speedway. Brian McCann out to a 1.1 second lead over the 2 of Neil Quick. Again, I gotta stress it. McCann out in front here with older tires. Oh, we got 1 car around. Brandon Mefford. It's turned. Sizzler goes to the inside to pit lane, and it looks like we stay green. I don't know how that was even possible. Not that we want more yellows, but Chris Goins trying to go 3 wide. Shane Haas disappears. He comes back.
Caution,
and there's the caution.
What do you think, bud? You think you're all right out there?
Meanwhile, Chris Mefford has crashed as well. Or did he? Yeah, there's some right rear damage. I think that's actually what brought the caution out this time. Brother Brandon. Things that make you go, All right, right, so let's get a look at it here. This actually puts us under the caution here. Looks like Mefford was trying to go make a move, dives it down to the bottom on Millet. Doesn't get alongside. We're back to the main straightaway here, down into 1. He still has right rear damage. Oh, just loses it on entry? A little too much rear brake possibly in the 46 of Chris Mefford. Certainly no contact with the outside wall or really anybody else, but it does put us under the caution. So it's going to set us up for a shootout, and I won't even venture to say that we're done with yellow flags because it's certainly possible. The way this night has gone, 11 laps to go in this 150-lap event. We're on our 13th yellow of the evening. Now, for comparison purposes, a full-length cup race is 500 laps. Yeah, 500 laps. That's with a 5.
Full send into one.
Of it. We only got 150. We got 13 cautions already. 10 laps to go. Brian McCann, your race leader, over Neil Quick in the 2. Zach Millett running 3rd. Will Hewitt now in the 4th spot. And Brandon Mefford, again, Mefford was, I didn't see him go completely around. Man, he was almost all the way around. We saw it, I think it was on a turn 4, just before the caution had come out.
Really don't want like a 20th place.
Matt Sisler ended up hitting the pit wall, I think, but no caution was triggered on that incident. Ashley Campbell in the stream chat saying, "Let's go, Michael." She's cheering on Michael Tucker, running in 6th. Michael Tucker with plenty of bent sheet metal on that number 39 machine, but still sticking with it. Got to help Tucker out with the number situation. He's got the sim stamped and the painted number on board. Gives it that 3D effect. Keep getting an indication that Shane Haas has crashed, but I think he's just having some connection issues as he disappears once again. Number 23, yeah, having some serious internet issues. That's going to be a struggle for the 41 of Chris Mefford. He's going to restart right behind him. You see it. This is the perspective from Chris Goins.
We have like one good lap.
I would key up, honestly, in that situation. Say, Shane, you got to go to the back because you can't. It's going to cause problems for the rest of the field. He's not even there. Where does Chris Goins go? Because if he gets in that spot and all of a sudden he comes back, it's a problem. Green flag back in the air. 7 laps to go. Brian McCann with the jump over Neil Quick. Zach Millett with a decent restart as well. Still not able to get alongside of Neil Quick down the backstretch. Brian McCann looking awful strong here. I don't know if Neil Quick has got enough, and the caution is out once again.
Tell me what you think you had there.
Don't know what we have here or why. Is it Shane Haas? It's not Shane Haas. It's Eddie Rose in the number 88 HBRShops.com entry. See what happens here to the 88. Eddie to the inside of Joe Tucker. Just gets right reared here. I'm not sure if he was coming up. Hard to tell from that angle.
There's not much second gear left.
It's going to be a tough one to call later on. Watch it from Joe Tucker's roof cam here. See how it looks from his perspective. I mean, from my view, it kind of looks like Eddie started to come up a little bit, Joe started to come down a little bit, and they met in the middle.
Yeah, overheating her. I guess we could have pit lap 40 and still made it with Brian.
Positionally, it's a bad spot for Eddie
91
Rose.
laps on a stint right now.
You get hit in the right rear regardless of the circumstances. You're going to go around.
I got to wonder if this is extended a couple more times, if you could make it.
So caution 14.
Nah, no one.
Still 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I don't even know what mine looks like. I'm sure there's a hole on it. Can we all just have like a gentleman's agreement to start in 4th gear? I'd like to be right on Brian, but I can't get a good start.
So this will be our first attempt at NASCAR overtime. And we do have 3 attempts at a green, white, checkered finish. This will be our first attempt. Hopefully we can get her back to the white flag before we have another issue. If we get back to the white before any on-track problems that would constitute a yellow flag, then that would end the race. Drivers come back around, no yellow. However, if we get a caution prior to the white flag coming out, we rack them up once again, get another opportunity, another green flag, then a white flag, then hopefully a checkered flag.
Huh.
3 attempts total. This counts as our first attempt.
The front.
Put us under the green flag here. I think it'll be lap 50. Sorry, lap 150. Base truck is down.
Damn, that sucks.
Green flag.
Green, white, checkered finish. Here we go. McCann gets the lead, gets the jump over Neil Quick. Battle now for the 3rd spot. Zach Millett to the inside. Will Hewitt trying to take it away. Will Hewitt tries it way deep into the corner. Caution comes back out.
What you got going on out there, bud?
So we stack them up one more time. Looks like Chris Elliott, Chris Mefford,
Hey,
Ken
Alfie,
Couch,
what's up,
Matt
buddy?
Kopp.
Yeah, that's a shit show. I don't know how I lost 3rd in that caution there. That's crazy. But he's got newer tires too, so I don't see any chance of getting that one back.
Chris Elliott in the 29.
We're gonna have to
Starting to look like things stack up
pinch
up
like
in
a
front,
bastard.
and that is indeed the case. Backing up a little further here, looks like maybe Chris Mefford and Mark Truxell. No,
they go for it up front.
looks like Chris Mefford to the outside of his brother.
Yeah.
Chris in the 46, the red and white machine to the outside of the 83, the gray and white machine.
Like
That's
this,
Chris
man.
and Brandon Mefford. Chris in the 46, Brandon in the 43. Tough to see from this angle if the 83 came up. It looks like he may have, and it definitely plants the 46 in the fence. 23, Shane Haas squeaks by, and I think Chris Goins is going to just get into him here and say, come on, dude, you got to go. Checks up enough, but it really actually sends the 46 in the path of Mark Truxell. Truxell gets a pretty big hit out of this. Keaton Burnett, does he squeak by? He does. It's in short, locking him down. Sisler trying to get slowed. He gets into the 15. Matt Kopp spins around. Chris Elliott gets in it. Ken Couch once again. Tough night for the 08.
Hey, all right. Tell her I said hi and thank you. We need all the hope we can get for this one.
Question in the stream chat from Holly Boys. Where was Hewitt going? Turn left, bud.
Right now.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Not even. I might actually just keep it in 3rd just for safety.
Might have dropped a cherry in his lap. Who knows?
I don't see anything good out of 2nd anymore. Maybe get a little.
Well, with that, we're going to step aside here. We're going to get a quick break out of the way before we go back to the green flag here. Our 2nd attempt at a green-white checker coming up next.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very
get up
generous.
there, Will.
He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Oh. This is not good. Oh my God. Oh, and I got in.
Back in Martinsville, ready to go back green flag racing. Brian McCann once again with a good jump over Neil Quick. Battle's going to be for the third spot. Will Hewitt, Zach Millett. Hewitt to the bottom.
Will's not even mad at us. He's mad at Neil.
Hewitt taking his last set of tires in lap 109. One of the freshest sets out there. Oh, and the two gets turned. Caution once again before we get back to the green flag. Hewitt gets collected as well. Driver still trying to get on through. Yellow's out, boys. Got to slow her down. More chaos here at Martinsville Speedway. Real quick, likely very unhappy. There you see it.
Well, I don't see it. Yeah, and I feel bad because Will was trying to get around the spin of Neil. So I went up over the curb and I touched Neil, or not Neil, but Will is enough to send him around. So that sucks.
Sent Quick, that is, up the racetrack.
He doesn't seem too mad about it. Probably knows.
Let's get a look at it.
Just trying to escape. Well, should I wreck McCann for the win or what?
And Hewitt, I was just saying it, has on fresh tires.
I know.
109 was his final stop.
No, I
couldn't
take
tires at that point. Hewitt goes down the
racetrack.
He does,
yeah,
here.
yeah. If the roles were reversed, he'd probably touch me, but it wouldn't be enough to spin me.
A bit, gets into the left rear of Neil Quick, sends him up the racetrack. Rewind this a little further here.
Amen to that, Alfie.
Subsequent issue with Will Hewitt and Zach Millett after the fact.
I'd love to know how much gas he's got. You know, I really hope Mike Tucker gets a podium here at least.
So the contact with Hewitt and Quick slows Will a bit. Millett gets into the 33. Strains him out for a minute.
Brian's 104 laps on this stint.
I'm not sure there with Hewitt. Sends him into the wall. Pretty big impact for him.
Well, let's not die, right? Let's not die.
Track Bar Media says, let's just take Martinsville off the schedule. Well, part of me would agree, but the other part of me says every one of these drivers out here is more than capable of running this race 2 or 3 clicks less aggressive than they have been, and I think we'd have a much cleaner race if that were the case. Again, it's all conjecture, but I've seen guys run this track with this car, and they've gotten it done. Certainly not caution-free, but certainly not this bad.
Great pace by Brian right at the end. Beautiful.
Sarah McNasky says lots of cautions tonight. Yeah, definitely. I think our average green flag run is under 10 laps tonight.
Nice win, Brian.
It's tough. Again, we talked about it a lot. It's a tough track. It's a tough car. It's an even tougher combination. You mix these guys together. Again, we said it. It's possible to run it clean. You're going to get a caution here or there, but a lot of aggression here tonight. Pace truck is off. Our final attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Brian McCann holding the field down. He's got Zach Millett to his outside. Millett and McCann on the same age tires.
Good job, man.
McCann gets away. Millett times it decently. A quarter-second advantage down into turn number 1 for Brian McCann. Turn number 4, do we see the white flag this time? We do. Final lap from Martinsville Speedway. Millett back about a half second. Don't think he's got enough time to get there. Michael Tucker battling with Brandon Mefford for the 3rd spot. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Brian McCann, a marathon race, but he takes the checkered flag from Martinsville Speedway. Zach Millett finishes in the 2nd spot. Mike Tucker finishing 3rd as Brandon Mefford slips up the racetrack and gets the fence. Don't know if there was some contact there with the 38 or not. 39, that is.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Brian McCann, your race winner.
The race that would never win, or never end. To the green room, sir. Ryan, 107 laps on that tank.
I think McCann's going to try and do a whole lap. Oh, maybe not. Oh, he's going to channel his inner Kyle Larson. McCann shuts her down there to entry to turn number 3. We're going to step aside, get a break out of the way before we get our top 3 finishers in the broadcast booth. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm.
Well, that turned out
help.
just about as good as I could ask for. Yeah, you're not kidding. I was dumped pretty good, too. Freaking crazy. I was trying so hard not to get into, I think it was Neil in front of me for about 10 laps, and we checked up pretty hard, I think, into 1, and got killed from behind. Jesus, I got absolutely raped. I got like I was insane. Got Mefford. I mean, I don't know what else I could have. His closing rate was pretty insane. Let's see. You never know what it looks like. Oh, boy. All right, there we go. No more push to talk. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Oh, really? Did he come down spinning? Yeah. Damn.
Zach and Steve in HBR TV booth. You got me?
Steve, what's up, buddy?
Well, another race in Martinsville in the books. How about you?
Well, I'm happy I survived.
Well, you survived and you finished in the second spot, so certainly a job well done. A great race in that respect. Certainly a ton of cautions here tonight that we all had to deal with. Throws a monkey wrench into everybody's strategy and certainly caused some guys to change things up. We saw with Brian McCann, he made his first and last pit stop at lap 57. We saw the same out of you. Was that kind of the plan, thinking, you know what, there's no way we're going to go green to the end, let's chance it and do this, or what was the mindset?
You know, the plan at first was to wait until there's about 40 to go, come in, take my last set, because I knew there was going to be a caution just about every 13 seconds or so, which at least that part was accurate. But the more I saw happening out in that track, it quickly came to me that track position was just about everything. So once I kind of committed and stayed out, I think I was behind Brian and Neil there. Mileage wasn't a problem, and I just wanted to stay ahead of the mayhem, and well, it found us anyway. So.
Well, speaking of mayhem, we wanted to talk a little bit about some of those drivers that took a late set of Goodyear Racing tires, about lap 109, I think it was. Mike Tucker, the third place finisher, being one of them, but Will Hewitt being another. He certainly seemed to be on a tear as of late. Got into Neil quick, put us under one of the cautions, and then in that same incident, you guys made some contact. Did you see him coming? Did you expect him to be that fast with those fresh tires?
I kind of expected him to be, pretty quick. I don't know. I think he had the car to win, honestly, late in the run. I think it was Will's race to lose there. And it's so easy to come into these corners and just, get into somebody like that. You can't even graze them, the back of the cars lift right up, and you're going around no matter what. So, it's not surprising, some of that was happening, and it just sucks, man. I don't know. Short track racing for you, right?
Well, we go from the short track here at Martinsville to the intermediate speedway out at Auto Club in California next week. Number one, A, are you going to be available for it? And B, if you are, how do you feel about your chances out at Auto Club next week?
Well, as of right now, I'm working, unfortunately. I'm going to try to scam it off. Got a few more days to try to do that. I really hope I can make it. I like Auto Club a lot now that it doesn't even exist anymore, unfortunately. But, yeah, I like it there. In these cars, I don't know, I'm kind of expecting it to be pretty chaotic.
Well, nevertheless, again, Zach, congratulations on a runner-up finish here at Martinsville. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I got to thank you, Steve, HBR TV. Especially tonight. It's your birthday, guy, so happy birthday, fella.
Thank you, sir.
HBRShops.com, HBRTV1.com. I got to thank Noble, everybody behind Noble, all the admins. It's going to be it's going to be interesting tonight, I'm sure. Lots of reviews. Can't wait to watch that chaos. Track Bar Media, Eric Dotson, State Farm, Castle Packs Power. And shoot me a follow over on Twitch at That Is 4 Guy.
Zach Billett, you're runner-up, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, buddy. You're up. Don't say vagina. Don't say vagina. Don't say it. Don't do it. That's the best thought you could put in somebody's head right at the very end, right before he gets interviewed. Northern Enforcement. Yeah, you're not kidding, dude. You're not kidding. That was stressful. Man, that last restart, I got to give it to Brian. He had wicked pace there, man. I had nothing for him. Even if I was, planning on wrecking him for it or whatever, I couldn't have got him to do it. Let's do a chase view here. This is when these guys got into each other. Oh, I was trying so hard to stay off you, Will. Damn it. Let's see. Look at that. Did I even touch him? No way. got to be a better camera. That camera sucks. That one's actually super far away, but it's not bad. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, this one's just too far. I don't even think we touched. I think it was just all freaking netcode or something. I mean, it's a shame because, I mean, I think Will would have won this damn thing. Jeff's famous steak sauce would have been up there. That's crazy. Oh, balls. Well, I hate that happened, but it looks like Neil was going to come down there. Yeah, he's coming down. I mean, Will's there. Short track racing. Gay. Who can we go talk to? The hauler is going to be fun. Alright guys, that's enough short track racing. We're done. Thank God. Final results. Brian McCann taking home the W. Myself and Mike Tucker. Big shout out to this fella. Chaotic race. He stays ahead of Brandon Mefford and earns that third place. That's sick. That is sick. Good for him. So, good stuff. Alright guys, we'll catch you Tuesday night. We got NTRL trucks. Bristol Dirt. So, God help us. See ya.